What's up, everyone? It's Billy Johnson Jr. at Yahoo Music. Man, I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky. Michelle Williams, you guys know her from so many things. Some of you might know her from Destiny's Child. Some of you know her solo work. Maybe you've seen one of her fabulous stage productions. Just finished Fela, Color Purple, Chicago. If you're in London, maybe you saw her in Chicago and in London.
Hey.
Dang.
That was a lot.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good to see you
Super
again.
Super Bowl, all that
Yes,
stuff.
that was fun.
So you've been busy, huh?
I have been busy, doing a lot of cool things. I'm, doing the things that I love.
Yeah.
Well,
you know what? So I know you have a new record, Journey to Freedom, that's going to be coming out in 2014. We've heard a couple singles. We're going to talk about all that stuff. But, what's really cool, kind of going back to that point of all the things you've been doing to keep busy, when Destiny's Child was, ending, and you guys knew you were doing the last record and everything, were you thinking, okay, do I have enough stuff lined up? Like, how were you feeling? Did you know that you were going to?
Well, the cool thing, when you know something is coming to an end, the smart thing to do is while it's ending or before it ends, you should already have some things lined up.
Right.
So even when we were recording our last album, I was already thinking, okay, what's next? And so we did the re-release of my gospel album, Do You Know? And then I went right into The Color Purple. I did a year here in LA of preparation. Then I spent a year doing The Color Purple. After that was Chicago, the musical, for almost 2 years. Then, Fela.
Yeah.
So, and it's crazy because the type of work that I do, sometimes it keeps me out the limelight for long periods of time. When you're doing Broadway, you do 8 shows a week.
Oh, goodness.
So I am not thinking about anybody's party or red carpet event because I'm knackered. I'm tired. So a lot of people are like, well, what you been up to? But they don't know I've been on the stage somewhere.
Yeah. Well, that's incredible, and your voice is just so powerful. You have a big voice, and I think it's perfect for theater and everything. But how grueling is that, like doing theater, like 8 shows a week on your voice, and how do you manage that?
By the 6th show, I'm like, okay, you just did 6 shows. So my voice kind of, gets tired. It's just naturally, it will get tired. But as far as my physical strength, that's why I rest. I don't go out a lot. I rest. I've done shows where a lot of the dancers, they'll be out till 4 in the morning and then had come in for a matinee. And I'm like, I don't know how you guys do it, but I'm in the bed. So by like the 6th show, my voice, can get a little scratchy, because I've been working it. But the more you do it, it really gets stronger. It's like it gets stronger, but then it lets you know, hey, so there are a few little minor adjustments that I'll do technically, vocally wise, to keep me from losing my voice completely.
Yeah. So since you've been doing, a lot of theater, and you all have been doing a lot of songs too, like, because you'll put songs out, over the internet and stuff, just kind of let people know what you're doing. But were you ready to like just go back in and just do another full record? Because Unexpected that year was that
2008.
2008. So it's been a couple years.
It's been a couple years. And like I said, 2008 I released Unexpected, and then 2009 to about the end of 2010. Like I said, with Chicago the musical.
Yeah.
Then I did a dancing show still in London for 6 months. Then I traveled in another play from 2011 to 2012. It was titled What My Husband Doesn't Know. And in 2012, I started recording the album.
Yeah, wow.
So, and I just finished the album this year.
Yeah, wow. So do you did you miss like the process of being in the studio working on a record?
I did miss the process. I love, it kind of, when I got back into the rhythm of everything, I was like, man, I could do this all the time.
Yeah.
So especially when you work with great people, and all the writers and the producer of my album have turned into family.
Yeah.
So there are times I'll just go to the studio when I'm not working.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, an artist should
I love
always,
my job, but I never show up here when I'm off. So that's pretty good, Michelle.
But an artist should almost stay in the studio.
Oh, okay.
You should kind of live there, whether you're working or not. Always
Really?
be around. Yeah. Always be around the creative process.
Yeah. Well, so one thing to that point, because you describe them as like family, and I know that you work with Mr. Harmony Samuels, and Fantasia said he did like her whole record too. And but so the thing is, like, I actually really like that idea of like teaming up with the right family and just coming up with this cohesive sound that works together instead of it being kind of a mismatched thing. And so what made you what led you to working with him?
Well, it was kind of like when you find the producer and you have chemistry, like we started off only supposed to do like 2 or 3 songs. And then, he was like, what do you think about me doing the entire project? I said, I was really hoping you would say that. I would love for you to do the entire project. And that's what happened. It was kind of like, like how Janet Jackson always worked with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, Mike found his sound, with Quincy Jones, and and of course he worked with other people. There are sometimes, for my next album, I might work with another producer for that entire project. It just depends. Like Rico Love, an amazing writer from my album Unexpected in 2008, he pretty much did a lot of the bulk of that album. So it's like when you find somebody, it's like, you know what, let's stick it out. Let's see what we can do.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk more about Journey to Freedom. So I had a chance to interview Michelle the other night at this really cool thing at one church in LA, and one of the topics that came up was just how do you define your music? Is it gospel? And I think because you're singing about Jesus, like it's convenient to call it gospel.
Well, to be honest with you, when you hear a song that has, but I don't know, I take that back, because I've heard people like maybe like India Ari, she might sing a song and the song, she might mention the word God, but they don't call it a gospel song. They don't even play it on gospel radio. It stays on R&B, your urban AC stations, Sirius, whatever the stations are, So I think they put me in that category because my first album came out as a gospel project, and me and my old management, we fought about that a lot.
Oh, really?
Oh, my God, yeah. And then even my second.
So wait, you're saying you didn't want it to be labeled gospel?
No,
I didn't know that.
Not even then. I knew it was going to be a problem because I was still attached to Destiny's Child, so then it would make it seem like she's going back and forth.
Oh, I see.
Now my second album, Do You Know, that was more of an inspirational album.
Wow.
Because I feel like just because I might mention God or the word Jesus, maybe I'm telling you about who I called on at that moment. But because you're a Christian or whatever, we still have to go through the same things humans go through. We go through heartbreak.
Right.
We go through disappointment, you go through betrayal, but then you go through happiness, love, success, prosperity, good health, all those things. So I write about those things.
Sure, right. Well, let's talk about one of those songs, because the second single, Fire,
yes,
that's what you're talking about, because there's even this, I don't have the exact quote in front of me, but you say, you name these Bible characters. I'm going to mess up their names.
Meshach, and Abednego.
Yeah, and you said, I'll go through the fire,
but I won't come out smelling like smoke. So it's just to encourage people that you're going to go through some things. But when you call on that higher power, when you call on God, he's going to make sure you're good. He's going to make sure, he's going to brush the dust off your shoulders. And then you're going to come out and not even look like you've even been through anything.
Wow. So
that's the kind of, you got to have that kind of faith, though.
So with this new record, Journey to Freedom, considering what you're saying about the labels and all that kind of stuff, so what's happening with this record? Is that an issue with the label, or is it a issue with how everyone else is interpreting it?
I want everybody to interpret it now. It has to be marketed in a certain way. It's got to be all of those things. And I'm really, to be honest with you, I'm kind of that's not a fight I'm going to have.
Okay.
I'm kind of leaving that up to God. Like, you know, whatever. You know, now when Fire and If We Had Your Eyes came out, like it's on certain playlists or where you can buy music legally. It's in multiple genres.
Okay. Wow.
You know?
Yeah, but I will say too, like of the songs that I heard at this event last night, you performed 3 songs and then you played another 3 songs, and I think there's one other song that I heard. So let's say now I've heard 7 songs. And I can't even say that any of the songs sound like a quote unquote even contemporary gospel song.
But the thing is like, well, what is gospel supposed to sound like?
Okay, right.
Is it supposed to just be like, is it all, what is it supposed to sound like? What is there is no gospel B flat.
Okay.
Or no R&B B flat. It's put me in the key of B flat. Either I'm going to sing Mary Had a Little Lamb or Amazing Grace. It's one key. It's not labeled. Yeah. There's no bluegrass E flat.
Yeah. Okay. No, I get you. Okay, so this is part 1 of my sit down with Michelle Williams. You know her from so many places. We're going to come back with part 2. Hey, what's up? Billy Johnson Jr. from Yahoo Music and Miss Michelle Williams. Hey.
We're back.
Yes. So, let's talk about the first single from this record, If We Had Your Eyes. Again, you were talking about songs that people just could relate to because it's everyday stuff. The first verse in that song, you're talking about the homeless, and you even portray this in the video. So what made you want to write, talk about this in the song?
I'll say this, the young man and young lady who actually really wrote the song, Courtney Harrell and Sherrod Lambert. Sherrod had an experience being out and about, and a homeless man asked him for some money, and he gave it to the man, and the homeless man ended up really being very inspiring and encouraging to Sherrod. Not ever thinking that that would happen. And could you imagine, like, a lot of people that were homeless, could have had Fortune 500 type jobs and just ended up, in a bad situation. We always have it made up in our mind who the homeless person is and what they're about. And it's like, you just never know. It could be me. So if it could have been me, I still could be able to encourage you.
Yeah.
So that's what happened. I'm not thinking that a homeless man is going to help change my life.
Yeah, that's awesome. Another thing about the video, actually I've written about this, LeToya Luckett, yeah, another Destiny's Child member, is in the video, and I was surprised, and I know there's an interesting backstory of how you reached out to her. So I know, so for you who don't know the backstory, LeToya Luckett was in Destiny's Child, and after she left, and another member left, Michelle, joined the group.
I joined the group, yes.
So, but what made you reach out to her?
Well, what made me reach out was because I was tired of going to events and people would say, oh, LeToya's here. And I'd be like, so? That was so long ago. So what? Well, you want to do red carpet now, or do you want to wait till she's off the carpet? We're too grown. My feet hurt. I'm ready to do red carpet and go sit down somewhere. Or, and then I saw her at an event. Terrell Owens had a birthday party. Let me tell you, the first time I really saw her was at a birthday party Terrell Owens had in Dallas. She was sitting at the table. And I was like, okay. Am I going to be awkward and rude and just act like I don't see her where she's sitting? Because I have to walk past you to get to my seat. I'm not that type of person. So I literally said, you know what? Go say something to her. And I did. I said, I just want you to know I admire you and I'm happy about your turnaround and everything that you've had going. Because a lot of people didn't think that once she was no longer a part of Destiny's Child, they wrote her off. Not they as in people, consumers. I'm sure the industry probably was like, well, good luck. And she came out with, a #1 album, a #1 song, and is still doing very well for herself. So I wanted her to know it's coming from a genuine place. I'm happy for you. Then a year or two later, my assistant at the time is the one who gave her my number. I wasn't even thinking about giving her my number. I just wanted to break that ice so that it's no more awkward moments.
But now you guys are like
We're cool.
Yeah, yeah.
All is well.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's beautiful though. But
yeah, I mean, and also the song is titled "If We Had Your Eyes." I wanted people to see restoration, reconciliation, or I wanted them to see, even if you have to forgive somebody or whatever it is, I wanted them to take seeing her in my video.
Yeah.
And see that.
Yeah.
See those things.
I think it was like huge and very well received. So
thank you.
Thank you very much. So
thank you.
Again, it's called Journey to Freedom. And so, yes, you have these messages, we can call them inspirational or just life messages throughout the record.
Yeah.
How do those tie into the title Journey to Freedom?
Well, life is really, a journey, and I'm learning to really take time to really embrace the process. There are times I will be on stage or have amazing moments, and it would just be another thing. Just even like, just want to make sure that I really take time out to grow and mature and get free from anything that will keep me from being my absolute best.
Yeah.
To stop procrastinating or stop linking up with people that don't mean you any good, because they only slow you down. This baggage, dead weight, excess baggage, all of that stuff. Excess baggage is expensive. You know what I mean? So Journey to Freedom, I want people to go on that journey with me, and hopefully they're encouraged to be great, be strong.
Yeah, there's a song that I know you're tired of me talking about. It's called Fall.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh! I after the show last night, I was like, I need to listen to this some more too.
Yeah.
So this is a seriously funky song. You got Lecrae doing his rap thing. You have Tribett doing all that stuff he does. And it's incredible. So what made you bring all these guys together for this song?
Well, they are people that I admire as far as trailblazers. Lecrae, is doing his thing, and I love, how he's unashamed about it, no apologies about who he is in the marketplace. Tribett, same thing.
Yeah.
They inspire me, so I'm happy that they, took the call and was like, yeah, we'll hop on the record. So,
Yeah. Do you feel like, it's another thing we were kind of talking about, but do you feel like you have an obligation to have a certain type of message, in your music? I don't know if it as a person of faith or just, who you are as a person, the way your parents raised you or whatever.
Well, just as a person, I'm accepting that's who I am, a person to inspire, a person to encourage. So why not do that in my music?
Yeah. I saw this old interview with you were on some TV show, and it was shortly after you joined Destiny's Child. It had to be very early, and they had Beyonce on the phone. And they said, what made you guys, what did you guys saw about Michelle? And she said all these great things. She can sing, she's beautiful. But the first thing she said was her presence, just when she came in the room, she's like just just her energy. And I thought that was cool. So to me, it just makes me think about, you saying like it's who you are as a person, all kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's.
And people also buy a lot of, that's who I am. So when you get my music, you get me.
Yeah.
I don't speak a lot about private stuff and all that stuff, but I hope that you can feel my, like you said, my presence, in my music.
Yeah.
All
right. So I have a couple fun questions I want to ask Michelle in part 3. We'll be right back. It's Billy Johnson Jr. from Yahoo and Michelle Williams, part 3 of our interview.
Part 3. Let's go.
So this is a question I've been dying to ask Michelle. It's about the Super Bowl.
Oh, gosh.
I mean, I'm into theatrical productions and introductions and smoke and all that kind of stuff. But the way you guys popped up on the stage, I was like, that is just like the best in the sequence and everything. So what I want to know, what was that experience like being in that thing? It's called a toaster or something?
It was a toaster.
Like, describe, what is it like down there, and is it scary? Like, being shot up so quickly, is it potentially dangerous? Like,
it is dangerous. It's very dangerous. I know we did those toasters. We did that on our last tour, Destiny Fulfilled, and for the song Soldier, we would pop up, have our Michael Jackson moment, But people don't know, I had an anxiety attack under there the first day of rehearsal, because I hadn't done it in 8 years. So then there were so many people watching the rehearsal. I was like, they gotta leave. Because what if I pop up and fall or something? I don't want them to see that. So they made everybody leave. So I ran it a couple times, and I was like, okay, cool, let's go.
Okay, wow, yeah.
Because it's something you're literally, I think the anxiety, and I'm not claustrophobic or anything, but my heart will start to beat real fast. This is rehearsal, not the show now. My heart started beating really fast. And I was like, no, I can't go. It was just, they were just like, who is this? Why is she going crazy?
But tell me this, like, is it a situation where you have to keep your hands in?
Yes,
because
you got to keep your hands in, and then you'll hear, like, you can hear something in your ears, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, okay, wow.
Now, if somebody don't do it right, if it jerked the wrong way, you're done.
Okay, wow. Yeah.
So you literally, and you go up, and it's there's a boosh. So you can really take advantage of that boosh, and you can, when it goes like that, you use that as your momentum up. Yeah. Now, when we did it on our last tour, I would always jump the highest.
Oh, okay, right.
I wasn't scared.
I love that.
They were scared, not me.
I'm gonna go YouTube that.
You should
finish this interview
because it gives you that momentum, and you just feel like you're flying, like just for
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So now, a lot of people were introduced to you in Destiny's Child, but before Destiny's Child, you was on the road singing with Monica. Yeah.
Yes, I was
singing background for Monica, and we always hear that you work with Monica. But how did you get that connection? And what was that like?
Wow, I got the Monica connection through a musician friend of mine at the time who found my number, I think, in the bottom of a moving box, he said. So he said he called the number to see if it was still the same, and it was. And he said he was just updating me, let me know what he was going on. I was in college at the time. So he's like, well, I'm on the road, about to go on the road with Monica, and 98 degrees. So this was in 1999. And I said, oh, well, cool. Well, if she needs any background singers, call me. I'm in college, not thinking this was really going to be true or going to happen. And he called me a couple days later and said she's having auditions tomorrow in Atlanta. It's like, I can't afford a next day ticket. He said, well, my cousin works for United Airlines. So it's like I look at her as my gateway into this life.
Right.
If it wasn't for her, I don't know how I would have been able to get to Atlanta to audition for Monica. Being on tour with Monica is how I met Beyonce and Kelly, because on a couple dates, they would open up for the tour.
Wow.
So, thank you, Miss Gladys.
Very nice. Are you friends with Monica? Or?
We're very, very cool. We're very cool. I think I'm so happy for her. She's married and she has children, but yet she's still amazing vocalist, still fierce. So I'm like, okay, I want that one day.
Yeah.
I want that mommyhood, wifehood, but yet I'm still doing my thing.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, congratulations on everything.
Thank you.
Say thank you. Is there anything else about Michelle you want people in Yahoo Land to know?
Well, please, thank y'all so much for the support. I always love coming up to Yahoo, chilling. It feels like family. Y'all got to get up here. There's a kitchen with cool stuff in it.
Yeah, she know what she talking about. We love some Michelle, so thanks. Don't forget to look out for the album.
It's just not some room with coffee and stale bagels. It's real stuff.
If you come at lunchtime, yep.
Yeah, I came at lunchtime. Perfect.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
How
can people keep up with you?
Keep up with me on Twitter or Instagram at RealMichelleW, Facebook, facebook.com/Michelle Williams, or my new renovated website is titled IamMichelle.com. My phone number is area code. I'm just playing. You're not getting that.
All right. Thank you, Billy J. You can follow me on Twitter at Y_Billy Johnson. All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Anything no choice but to grow.